What's up, Try Swim Coach crew? Welcome back to another episode of Try Swim Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Dominic Latella, the guy who makes sure your freestyle doesn't look like you're auditioning for a disaster movie. Whether you're a beginner just trying to stay afloat or a seasoned triathlete chasing podium dreams, we're in the right place. Today's episode is so much fun. Seriously, if you're not pumped about swimming by the end of this episode, I don't know what to tell you. We've got technique tips, training insights, and a whole lot of inspiration to keep you crushing it in and out of the water. All right, real quick, don't forget to follow us or subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for updates for camp details and other goodies. Got it? Good. All right, let's jump in, chop it up, and talk all things swimming. Here we go.
Hi.
We're going to start wherever we start. We don't need to start right where it's recording.
I was like, where is going?
It's not going anywhere.
It's so much easier that way.
So I do want to say to Ryan that I really appreciate that you dress the same for swim lessons as you do for podcasts.
I was literally thinking about that today. I was like, should I dress nicer or should I just dress comfy and warm?
And which one did you pick?
Comfy and warm.
Okay, just making sure.
Is there a warm right now? It is so cold.
I mean, I
Did
had
you
an extra
see-
layer, but
I literally have leggings on under my sweatpants.
no, right. I
I'm
mean,
not kidding. And next Tuesday, the low is 4. 4.
I
yeah.
can't imagine what it's like to
I
live in
don't
a
live in
place
Antarctica.
where this is normal.
No.
Illinois, and the wind chill gets to like the teens, and
I couldn't do
it's
it.
at 10 normally.
I couldn't do it.
My brother-in-law runs in that, so
I couldn't do it.
Absolutely
He's-
not. Runs outside in
yeah,
it?
he's bald too, so he has no hair.
Hope he has a hat on.
He does, yeah. I think he wears a mask and a hat because he just has his eyes so he can see. But like,
His retina freeze.
I don't know, his eyelashes and eyebrows freeze. I don't know.
The only way I can run in weather, I would say, colder than 50 degrees is if I have a mask on. Like even at, like when it's like 40 degrees, something like that. Like I don't even
Absolutely.
like doing that.
Can you imagine? Because you're in Illinois, it's windy there because it's just cornfields. There's just nothing. So you just
In all
constant.
of Illinois, there's only just cornfields.
There's a lot of cornfields
And then
in
Chicago.
They're in Champaign Urbana. So it's like 2
Right.
hours out.
Right.
Okay.
I just can't imagine. I don't want to do anything.
I literally don't. I don't want to do anything right now. I was sitting
just-
on the couch this morning and you were like, let's work out. And I'm like, why?
It's just the
Let's
cold.
movement.
I've recognized over my time on Earth that during the wintertime, no matter where I live in the wintertime, whether I grew up in Atlanta, right, live in the Bahamas, live in Northern Virginia, doesn't matter. Wintertime, I do less. I do less cardio. I do less moving around in general. I like wind down by like 2 or 3. I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do anything.
I mean, that's probably
Yeah.
behavioral, like evolutionary in a way, because way back in the winter, like, yeah, you're freezing your butt off. You're going to sit in your house and not go out much.
Research shows people exercise for an average of 8 minutes less during the cooler months.
So it's not me. It's everybody.
On
I
average,
think it's
8
just
minutes
a behavioral of like when it gets cold, people just don't want to move much.
People also drop other activities they do during warmer months, such as active traveling. I love to do inactive traveling. It's a big
Just that passive
Drop
travel
the
when you
active
get
part.
arrested and then brought
passive
to somewhere.
traveling. Isn't that what TikTok really is?
What?
Did you hear, by the way? So random. Maybe I should figure this out first. That has nothing to do with swimming in any way, shape, or form. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank wants to buy TikTok before the 19th, before it gets banned in the US. Did you hear that?
Wow, that's news to me, but that, yeah, because the clock is ticking.
So I become a tri-
Was that a TikTok one?
Oh, no, pun not intended, but I guess, no, it is, yeah.
I just honestly, as someone who doesn't use TikTok, I'm not trying to say like, I want to take away all of the influencers' money and all of that stuff. I'm not trying to say that, okay? But I do think it would be interesting if it does get banned because it's become such a integral part of people's lives.
Yeah.
That sounded really hard to get out.
It was. I wasn't sure if integral had a 2 R's or 1. And I thought about
Did you
it.
really think like that?
I thought about it as I said it. No. What do you mean? Think like just sometimes.
We understood you, so.
I never think, does this word have this many R's and that's how I would pronounce it?
I was in the middle of saying that I was like, integral? That sounds wrong. Integral?
Integral.
Thanks for calling me out, though.
I bet if you say it enough, it will never sound right.
Integral. I feel like that's what I do with the word. Like whenever I think of that, when you like a word loses association, I think of the word bowl. It's always bowl.
Or are you talking about like turmeric versus turmeric? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Turmeric.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. And there's only one R.
There's two R's. It's T-U-R-M-E-R, I think.
Doesn't that kind of get into like the Mandela effect? How you like think
Yes.
the words?
There are two R's in turmeric.
Turmeric.
I used to always think February, not February.
I had
It's a
to pick
terrible word.
February.
Yeah. I hate writing the word February.
I've been misspelling it for a while.
I'm just like, wait, oh, there's two R's. What? Oh, God. And now you know why we're some coaches. Oh, stop saying a full spelling.
I didn't do that.
You're gonna spell or some coaches. That's totally fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it should be fine.
So I want to talk about myself
Always.
because
Good topic.
what do I care more about than myself?
Food.
Yeah.
Swimming.
It's a near second, but I definitely think about myself more than food.
Is something third?
Oh,
Ooh, interesting. What is third?
that's a really hard question.
I should be
Myself,
third.
food.
The wife of you.
My
should
wife.
Be third.
Somewhere in there.
I'd like to
and
be
then,
in the
and then
top
I would say
10.
swimming because we also, we run swim businesses together. So it's like that comes naturally when I think about the third important thing. So anyway, I am working on making a freestyle catch course. Okay. How to set your catch.
Set
right?
a catch.
In freestyle. So I'm working on that course. Hopefully I'll be done with it like, I don't know, in a week. And what I like to do is film myself demonstrating either the drills or the skills in which I'm trying to teach and impart. So I was in the water and I filmed myself with a GoPro on the side of the pool. And every time I was doing triangle drill, and if you don't know what triangle drill is, YouTube it.
Triangle drill is one of my favorite drills for freestyle and butterfly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
it's a good
using.
crossover.
I love
like
being like, you remember this one? We're
I
gonna do it
always
in a
tell
totally different way, but it's the same thing. Okay, ready? Let's go.
So I wasn't really doing full triangle drill. I was just showing how to set the catch and then the shrugging down of the shoulder blades to generate the power phase, right? So my video was atrocious. I could not believe
Of you, like
much?
the quality of it, or what your movement?
quality was great. Crystal clear how much I sucked at doing the drill.
4K.
It really was a
Water
really
quality.
crisp 4K, like 60 frames per
But
second.
man, that pH and chlorine were balanced.
Oh, man. Really
Look at
good.
that water.
But I needed to,
Movement was bad.
every time I shrugged my shoulder blades down, I did that thing that people do where they like, kind of like, my arms aren't going down that far, right? So it's more
I
like,
know, but I always call it like that pig in the Geico commercials. Pulls his head out the window, and you're just going. Whee!
it was more like, I was almost like popping my butt every time my shoulder blades went down. My back was arching.
Oh, like you were pushing your hips forward,
Right. Right.
like that movement you make when you're doing a squat, and you're standing up, and you're like, "Don't push my hips forward to use my glutes.
Correct.
Keep my hips stacked and use my glutes." Oh, right.
So I was putting the work in my mid
That's
to low back.
harder. Very common.
And it was, yeah, it's so common. It's so common that I'm trying to do it thinking I'm doing a great job and not. So then I had to go back. I went back, refilmed it,
Wait, hold
and
on.
also learned from my mistake. Yes.
My question is, did you feel that it went into your lower back?
Only
or
after
did
I saw
you
it.
see it? Oh, so you did not feel it.
Nope. I'm over in my mind. I'm feeling myself crushing it. Like, oh my God, my shoulder blades are gliding down my rib cage. I have beautiful paddles, crushing it.
But no.
Those things are true. But also,
To an extent.
I was adding a lot of compensation to achieve that.
That's one of my favorite questions to ask clients. Did you, and like, I love when that someone pops up from around and looks at the screen immediately, and I've paused it, and I just wait for them to look back at my face, and I'm smiling. I'm like, oh, no. It's not that easy. What do you think that round looked like? What do you think you did?
You're very good at that. I'm
So
terrible at
good.
that.
You're what do you mean you're terrible at?
I always want to be like, that was a great round. Look how good you are. Or
sometimes-
that was a terrible round.
Sometimes if it's
I don't let
so
people do
good,
themselves.
like I can't help it. I'll be like, that was amazing.
Right.
Sorry, don't look at that. How do you think you did? What was amazing? What do you think I'm even complimenting?
Yes.
Right?
It's something that I know, I recognize when I'm coaching that I have to like give space for people to self-evaluate before I just like enthusiastically, congratulate them and tell them amazing things about themselves. But, I got to let them come to their own
You get so excited.
sensation. I do. So anyway, I went
You
back.
did not feel
I did not.
that you made an incorrect
Now,
movement. A
however-
partially incorrect movement.
However, when I went back and I refilmed, I made it a point that as my shoulder blades were shrugging down my rib cage to maintain a paddle in my bicep, forearm, and hand, that I was also going to be trying to push my bottom 2 ribs into my spine at the same time. And what this did was cause the sensation of lightness or almost instability that when I was doing my first bad round, I felt stable because my hips were dropping. And so it just gave me a lot of perspective and insight about maybe what people indirectly feel for when they're swimming. Because I think as humans, we want to feel stable. No one likes an earthquake, right? No one likes to be like unstable. I think we force some sensations of stability in the water, regardless of benefit or not.
It's interesting that that's the feeling that you went for to correct yourself, because I would have done it with my lats, because I don't have a very good association with them, and I'm working on that right now. And for me, I know my ribs are closed if I can get engagement in my lats when I'm in the water in that drill.
My back and engage my lats.
I know I can. I know that you can. A human can, but for me and my like mental understanding of my body awareness, I wouldn't have done it in that way. Like I wouldn't have thought put my ribs in, because for me, I have gotten very good at maintaining them closed. I have trouble actually opening them.
That means you have trouble inhaling?
Yeah.
I inhale correctly. Don't you remember? Ryan was telling me.
It doesn't mean you don't inhale correctly. It just means...
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't use my diaphragm well in any way, shape, or form.
So you have to get expansion through the front of your sternum.
And I
has-
don't.
Yeah, that's the down.
some,
Yeah.
But that's connected to your abs, because that pulls it all down.
Right, and that's why I know they're closed.
Yeah.
Right, because I have such a good association with that I'm working to be like, how do I use my diaphragm?
Yeah.
But because of that, I know that when I get the engagement in my lats in this drill, in triangle drill, that my ribs are closed. Because if my ribs were not closed, me personally, I can't get that engagement in my lats.
Interesting.
I don't look for engagement in my lats. My lats will do the work that I want them to do.
Right,
To
mine
me,
never did.
to me, it's like asking someone to engage their glutes when they run. If you're in good position and not dysfunctional, your glutes will fire. You're not supposed to force that, right? So you're supposed to find the position, in my opinion, you're supposed to find the position that would cause that reaction. Yeah. Right? So for me, knowing that when I was doing my first round that was wrong, my ribs, my bottom 2 ribs specifically, were pushing downward.
Did you see that in the video?
Yeah, that's because my chest was opening, right? So that's what I think of in contrasts, right? Well, if that's what I do and it's incorrect, in order to do it correctly, I push my ribs into my spine.
I just find it really interesting how, like, you were saying how all the compensatory mechanisms that we do when we're trying to move is due to the joint position where we are in space. Because, yeah, I agree that, like, as human beings, we're trying to always stay stable, right? But at least in swimming, that may not be the most advantageous thing to push your hips down. While you may feel better in some manner or form, this can put pressure on other joints that shouldn't be working, especially for like the whole length of a whole triathlon, for example, right?
Sure.
And it's even different depending on the distance event you're doing. Because like I feel like when I see a lot of competitive swimmers on the block, they all kind of look the same. They're all very kind of like chest out, very tight, but that's useful.
You mean like the position there?
Yeah, the joint position they're kind of
Yeah.
in, because that makes sense for that sport specifically, because that's they're a lot of high force development or generation, right? They're trying to swim 100 free and as fast as possible, right? So they have to
29 seconds.
Yeah, so like there's even a discussion like, okay, how much are you rotating to 50 free? Probably not much, because you're just trying to put in that force as quickly, as fast as you possibly can, right? Versus a more distance event, you want that rotation because that's going to help your body just feel better, move better over a longer period of time.
Yeah, you have more mobility for sure.
Yeah. So it's like I understand the goal of like what we're trying to get that person in a way too.
Yes. So, I mean, the other thought is also if you're sort of dropping your hips like that, right? You said, well, you're going to put weird strain on joints. Well, you can't use your shoulders correctly if you're in that position, right? So it's just like everything goes out the window when your alignment gets out of whack. We shouldn't be losing alignment in order to generate force.
Yeah.
Right? We have to maintain alignment and still generate force so that we don't cause drag. And so that was the whole point. I was like a little disappointed in myself, not gonna lie.
Well, I mean,
But you know, it's important for me to. I think it's important for me to outwardly recognize and say out loud to people, I'm not perfect.
oh yeah.
I'm asking you to do things that I know are hard. They're hard for me, so I know they're gonna be hard for somebody else, right? So, but that's also why I like swimming. It's just a challenge.
I mean,
I like it because it's a challenge mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I think I actually like it more so because it's more of a mental challenge for me because I didn't understand so many of these things when I was swimming competitively. And I thought I was doing them,
Right.
right? Like that was, good God, like 20 plus years ago. And the way that we would get filmed, if we were ever filmed, was like maybe a steady cam,
Yeah.
laterally, stationarily.
You'd be stationary and you just swim by it.
Yeah. And so you
it's
get
on
to
a replay,
see
so
yourself, right?
It's
And
like
then you're
3
like,
strokes
oh,
or
I'm
2
going to come
strokes.
back because I flipped at the wall. I'm like, I'll come back. But then the one time we did that in college, they literally just showed them to us. Here's your swim video. Bye.
Yeah.
What
Great
was
analysis.
the point of that? You just
Yeah.
filmed me. I'm not the coach. I'm a child, and I have to get to my biology lab and like make sure that I study for my, God, I don't know,
Biology test?
maybe.
you did biology, right? You're going to biology class.
I don't know why I picked science. I was an econ major. I hated that.
I take so much.
Oh no, it's because I had the one lab I had to take messed up my practice schedule, and I was irked about it for forever.
Oh, the reason why you were at school?
Oh yeah. Who goes to school to do school?
Athlete
I
student.
really wish.
Athlete student. Yeah, no.
Athlete first, student second.
I really wish I had, done school better.
I don't know where I was in that spectrum. I feel like extremely both.
Also, the amount of times that I have a dream that's so vivid that I'm in college. I haven't gone to class ever. I have an exam. Am I going to graduate?
Do you scale?
I have these dreams all the time.
Oh my god.
Then they're so vivid to the point where sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like panicked. Like I'm like, I don't know, not necessarily what I'm panicked about because it's like I'm coming out of my dream, but like I have like stark panic until I'm like, no, you're an adult. It's fine. You did that. Like it's so aggressive. I don't know. Yeah, they still happen a lot, and it's like they're the same dream. And then the dream I used to have all the time, because this is clearly a podcast about dreams, is that I would
We'll analyze your dreams next time.
We're gonna psychoanalyze your dreams now?
No, I'm just telling you what they were. This one I thought was interesting. I like come to in the dream and I'm driving. There are no headlights or street lights, and I'm on a windy road, and I can't brake.
That sounds like a nightmare, not a dream.
It's awful.
Okay.
It's awful. But like in the dream, my eyes are closed too.
You're where your eyes are closed. In the
Like my eyes are closed. There are no
How do you
headlights.
know the road is windy? You
I just know. I can feel it. I can't brake. And I haven't like died or careened off of a ledge. So like,
when you die, you wake up. So yeah, there you go.
no, I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, back to, I can't because I literally was supposed to be like, can you die in dreams? Sorry. Back.
I'm going to roll this back a little bit.
Back to swimming. Back to swimming.
I'm going to roll it back a little bit. There
Very stream of
is,
consciousness. It's too aggressive.
even though you might not have had a detailed analysis of yourself swimming in college.
Because I thought I was setting a catch, I wasn't
Right. But
ever.
I think there is some power in just showing someone themselves swim.
Yeah.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of people can at least recognize that's not right. They might not know how to fix it. They might not know what is right, but it's amazing to me how quickly people recognize what I felt when I was swimming isn't what I'm actually doing, and what I'm seeing is clearly not right. It's amazing to me. And I think it's like an intuition there.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it's also that's cool with how SwimOps works, because in endless pool, I always talk about with some swimmers, I'm like, this is gonna be great for recording because you're just swimming in place, so I could just move the camera around. Because in a regular pool, I'm not gonna walk a full 25 yards of you each time back and forth. Way too much work.
Well, not just too much work. That footage that you're gonna get isn't necessarily going to be clean footage. Yeah,
No.
it's gonna be very difficult to get very clean footage of trying to move
With
as someone
someone?
else is moving. Is it possible? Yes. Is it annoying and complicated? Yes. It's not worth it unless you have access to your own lane.
It's why they have machines in the Olympics for that. They have all these like these
They have
fancy
tracks.
cam track
Dollies.
things.
Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah, and you can't just put that in a pool.
Yeah, most public pools are not okay with you filming their patrons.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that they like. Because
It's so interesting also that like you would think that people would have done this so much sooner, because I feel like the majority of my clients are more visual learners than auditory,
yeah.
right? And like if you think about it, most competitive swimmers, or like an average competitive swimmer, starts on like maybe like a community summer pool, right? Where's the visual? Is it a combination of,
It's other people.
right, you're just seeing the other people, you're not even thinking through it.
Maybe you can see your forearm and your hand when
was
you're
gonna-
entering the water and
Like,
saying,
that's
the only-
that's about it.
The only feedback they have is the people they're watching around them swim,
Right.
and their times.
And whatever their coaches are pointing out to them.
And it is friendly, like if they had to go off feeling a lot. So go off your point, like the visual learners. I've actually been recently trying to think about some of my younger swimmers about like I'm trying to help them feel things out better. Like I do the whole redemption drill. That okay, we're gonna do this stroke like the butterfly. So we're gonna go 5 strokes. And you're gonna tell me good, bad, or okay. And their job is to tell me how that feel good, bad, or okay. I think I've actually seen some improvement in results with that for getting kids to learn. Okay, this is how it's supposed to feel. This did not feel very good.
Do you do that? So I do that to get movements that I personally have trouble knowing if I've made or not. Like putting myself into a physical position, I need to like be able to see that part of me. But if I'm thinking about it in terms of a muscle engagement and what I feel, that's so much easier for me to understand.
You can use it
Because
both
then
ways.
well, just for me personally, I know myself well enough because Dominic has filmed me so much that I know that I have like a
Swimming. Brain,
swimming.
Go on.
I'm trying. I'm just like, oh, I was nowhere near there, but yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
I like it. Anyway, shit.
What's your OnlyFans?
Oh my god. Shut up. Good lord.
It's interesting you guys are talking about this because I
Just
was
lost my total train of thought.
well.
Oh, because every time you
Yes.
film me, like I have
Yeah.
such a good understanding that of myself that I have the tendency to go underwater after like swim breaststroke. I go, got it. And I do like dolphin kick. And I come up and I'm like beaming because I'm like, that was a good dolphin kick. And I look at you and I'm like, not what I was supposed to do. What was I supposed to be doing? Remember. Oh, sorry. And then I go, my brain like disappears. And so if I don't manipulate it in a way that I know that I will get the best output, I'm not gonna I know myself too well. I'm like, that's not gonna work. I can't remember what you were telling me, but years ago when we were in the Bahamas and I got really frustrated with you. You were asking me to do something.
That happens a lot, so
Yeah.
it's not like a specific memory.
You were asking me to do something. This is actually really funny. It was about the fucking catch. This is hilarious.
I believe this.
You were like, you need to leave your elbow pointing out from your spine while you push down with your palm. And you like put your palm for me to push.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, okay,
Were you
I need to
standing
leave
when I
my
asked you to push down, or were you
I was-
horizontal?
Indeed. I was standing, but you were like, you need to push down and keep your elbow in line with your hand as you push down. And I kept just tucking my elbow into my body.
Use that shoulder joint.
And you were like, no, leave your elbow out. And you were like very calm and patient. And I was like, I didn't understand how to do that
Sure.
because I'm like, I'm doing what you're saying. I'm doing exactly what you're saying. My elbow's going down, man. Because my brain didn't understand, oh, you need to feel something different when you're keeping your elbow out. My brain was like, I'm trying to keep my elbow out, not fucking working, bro. And like,
I like that your brain refers to me as bro.
oh yeah, dude, Holmes, I don't know. And so that was my frustration. It wasn't that I couldn't do it, and it wasn't that you weren't explaining it well. You were.
Thank you.
But for me, for some reason, I was like, I hear what you're saying. That doesn't work.
I mean, what the kind of fighting your muscle memory at that point? Because that's how you've been moving up to that point.
I was thinking in no way, shape, or form that I was doing any kind of physical work in this movement. I was just like, okay, keep my elbow out as I push down. I know logically, I should have been thinking, push, that's a work, that's an engagement. Yeah. Right? I know that. Okay, I know that. But I wasn't. We were like making coffee. It was an offhanded conversation. Right. So I was just like, okay, sure. Yeah, I'm listening. That doesn't work. I'm doing that. That doesn't work. And yet again, does it work? And then I just, like, my frustration was that I'm doing exactly what you're saying to me, in my understanding.
Yeah.
And it's not doing what you're saying. My elbow's dropping.
And that's
because I'm dropping my elbow. Like, I'm doing that.
And that's why we film, right? Because then when someone goes, I am doing that, you go, nah. Right. Here's the video.
And so that's why I've been
And they go, oh shit, I'm not.
way more into like muscle engagements. I want you to feel this engagement while we're making this movement to know that we're making this movement correctly. Yeah. Can you feel that? And a lot of times what I've been finding is that some people don't know what I mean. Excuse me. By muscle engagement. And so when that is the case, I've been having people stretch to swim.
Almost like a contrast movement.
Yep. So that it's like, okay, you don't know what I'm not articulating this in a way that your brain is processing muscle engagement, tension, work. Okay, got it. Where else do you feel a muscle when you stretch? I'll trick you into doing this and then explain why. And then I explain, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't understand. Like, hold your elbow like that. Now make this movement. I can understand that when you're like, hold your elbow in this way. When you make this movement now and you keep your elbow out, you should feel engagement in your armpit. And that.
I like that.
I'm like, great. That's my lat. And then I can use things like also, did you close your armpit? Oh, yeah. Keep your armpit open. Little things like that. Like, I've just been having so much better success with that lately. It's fascinating to me. The stretching thing is so interesting.
That's very interesting. It's nice that you guys are bringing this up, because I actually had like, I would say, a small victory this week with a client who would say things to me like, I can't feel that. This doesn't make sense. You're asking me to do something that I can't feel or I can't control. A little pessimistic. But this week, she started to feel things, and things started to connect, and it started to happen for her. And so it kind of like gave me an opportunity to step back and go, yeah, it was very frustrating that I could not get my athletes to feel what I needed them to feel. But it is so rewarding at the end of that tunnel when they start feeling the things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, I did something for this person. And there's somebody I'm working with online right now who is having a hard time gaining connection through swimming. She has, as we've been working together, she's gaining more connection, but she finds it very difficult. And so I have a simple approach, I think. Well, at least this is my approach. I won't say it's simple. It's my approach. I try to teach people in steps first, and then I try to get them to feel what those steps are supposed to be producing. And then the next thing is, if you have a couple of cues that you use for yourself, as some practice. I don't think people should have a list more than 3 to 5 cues that they're focused on within an hour of swimming. But for instance, if a cue was, I'm going to focus on my hips rotating up. Okay, well, I focus on that for a bit and I don't want to focus on it anymore. I'm going to focus on my shoulder blade shrugging down. To me, it should be more thought about like, how do these cues connect? How does my shoulder blade affect my hips rotating? How do my hips rotating affect my shoulder blade? They do, Ryan. I see your eyes going up to the ceiling like, I wonder. They do. They absolutely connect. Do you know how they connect?
Through the various muscles.
You're going to have to talk
through the various muscles in your body. Your lats connect all the way down from your armpit, kind of shoulder area, all the way down to the base of your hip.
think beyond like that is true, absolutely. But if you contract your shoulder blade, what happens to that corresponding hip? It goes up
Yeah.
in the water, not on land.
So
You can feel it
land.
want to move.
when you're horizontal in water, you'll feel that kind of
Like I feel myself stopping that movement because I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I feel the stop of
I'm
it.
in that swivel chair. It worked. It was in the swivel chair.
Totally
It worked. You just saw it. I didn't force that. I just shrugged my shoulder blade down and it worked.
We need to get solo chair at some box now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, right, those are to me more meaningful cues because it's not like I have to focus on this part of my body. It's trying to understand why focusing on that part or that movement affects everything else. How does it affect everything else? And then you can feel those connections.
Well, you hope in theory.
Over time, you will feel those connections. To me,
That's a good way to put it.
you cannot be thinking about swimming while you're swimming and be fast. Thoughts happen slower than reflexes, so you have to feel and adjust through feeling and just go. This means at an event, a race of some sort, not in practice. Some practices, yes. Some sets, yes.
Right.
But not really. Like, you need to take time to work on these things in practice. You need to take time to learn these things in practice. So you have to be thinking about it so that when you get to the race, it's already set. So anyway, long way of saying I have somebody who has starting to feel sensation and it makes me feel good. I have someone who's working on feeling sensation and I know I will feel good once they find it. But right now, a little frustrated.
It's so interesting when you have people like that, and it always makes me think about myself. Because as Dominic put it, we're all just selfish and thinking about ourselves all the time. But
And food.
it makes me wonder, like, how did I not feel stuff? Like,
When you were,
when I was a kid.
yeah, when you were like a teenager,
What was I doing?
you might have just not had great connection.
I mean, like, I would be tired. I would know that when I was putting in more effort versus less. Right? But, like, I was just always like, yeah, I'm tired. Or, like, I would be generally sore.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I thought about it. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
But I
work
guess
with
why would
teenagers
you?
that don't have any clue of what they're doing or what it feels like to
I was
do
gonna say, at least-
a certain movement. If you ask them to, they could not describe what was being used or how it works.
They just go slowly don't feel at that point. And
Well, they just go. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even like feel. It's almost like, well,
This is
my
what-
coach says kick faster, so I kick faster.
And is it like
wait, what point does that not work anymore?
Right.
a lot?
Because you can just like just swim harder, and they have the whole idea of like swimming smarter versus harder.
Right.
Because like I think that's how I ran into injuries. Because I was just told, okay, I gotta swim more, just swim harder, just keep going. And I'm like, okay, I kept going harder, faster, and then boom, I just
Blew up.
yeah, tore a rotator cuff, tore other stuff. Because I was like, wow, okay, I just can't keep trying to push myself harder.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little annoying that I have hindsight and I'm 42 and I wish I would have understood that it was more important for me to be consistent in my
Yes.
training versus intense in my training. And I always brought intensity. And then over time, I already told one of the podcast episodes, I'm very injury prone. But part of that is because I was doing too much intensity without enough of a foundation.
Without any understanding, really.
I think I was a lot of the same way, and I kind of had to make a huge adjustment. Okay, like now I'm almost like not used to working super hard all the time because it is like there's the relaxing element to swimming. It's like the whole idea of like smooth speed. You gotta learn to swim slow to go fast.
Right.
Which is hard. It's so hard. I'm teaching 3 or 4 people right now how to swim slowly.
Me too.
And it's funny because one of them comes in to work out with me. He would come in every day if he could. Matt,
Yeah.
all the time. He wants to come in for me to murder him
Yeah.
in a workout.
So-
And it's really funny because he'll get so excited swimming like a faster. Oh my gosh, like look at me. I'm not getting pushed back by the current. Like this is awesome. And I'm like, right. But let's figure out how to do that slowly. And then it's like he can't swim for more than like 20 seconds. And he'll swim for like 3 to 4 minute rounds, just swimming how he wants to go.
it's like a mindset thing too. A lot of people, like you said, they want to be absolutely destroyed in their workout. That's why HIIT cardio is a thing. But I've had a number of clients like, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, I've been doing HIIT cardio, and I'm like, and now you can't keep doing it because you're getting older, right? And like, yeah, and I'm like, that's kind of what happened. You can't do high intensity interval training like every day for years on end. You will eventually get burnt out, literally, physically, and not be able to put that effort in anymore.
Also, you'll feel awful.
Yeah, you'll start to feel awful and get injuries and other stuff because like your body just is not used or is not meant to be working at that level all the time.
Yeah,
I love when people will just go,
Because it feels good. They think,
it's like,
it feels good.
okay. I'm not saying don't do it. Like, you can keep doing it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. It's just more important to be consistent in working out than to be intense. That's all, right? And so I've been tracking my workouts. And if I work out for about 14 days straight, my intensity is not the same for all 14 days.
Absolutely not.
Right? I'll do a hard workout one day. The next day, maybe the day after that. And the day after that, I'm going to have a light workout. Maybe in a 14-day period, I'll do like 2 or 3 high-intensity workouts. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right? If I did them every single day, I would not be in the shape that I'm getting into. I know that. I recognize that in hindsight now.
You wouldn't be able to perform either because like you'd be so fatigued all the time. Because that's the problem with high intensity. You get fatigued and it's only going to catch up to you eventually. 'Cause I think that's my thing when I was young. I was obsessed with HIIT workouts because I thought I need to work harder. But then I think
That those abs.
yeah, or just like anything like that.
How you do it.
But then I learned like, okay, once I started getting to college, I was like, okay, I just can't keep working hard every day because unfortunately, as you get older, you can't recover as fast.
Oh my God, you learned that way before me.
Yeah, you learned that already?
You learned that
Yes.
so much before me. I used to.
I feel a little bit now, honestly. I feel like I did so much hard work earlier, and I'm like, I feel tired.
I would do like an extra 20-minute HIIT workout if I was like, oh, I don't know. That was kind of meh. You should probably do more.
I'm not in pain. I should probably do more.
Yeah. I think I
I
just
just not
think,
enough to feel good.
my heart rate's pretty high, but I don't really know what I did. So I'll
You also
take
get
this.
desensitized to it. Like, oh, I'm working hard, but am I really? I can go harder.
Like, what did I actually do was my burpee correct? Probably the fuck not.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even, thinking about it right now, I remember doing HIIT workouts in the condo we used to live in. There's absolutely no way when I went down into my plank, because that's the burpee that I do. I didn't do a CrossFit drop burpee. Okay.
Yeah.
So I go down into my plank. There's no way that I would, my pelvis was tucked and my glutes were engaged,
all the good
right?
stuff
Like,
that's supposed to be
absolutely
happening,
not.
right.
I'm bouncing downward.
You made a motion.
I moved down.
You did a motion.
100%. And then I jumped up. Oh, the
Right.
work I did was jumping.
Right.
Good for you.
Which we know I need to do more of, but
But you feel awful. I didn't feel physically good doing those things in the way that swimming makes me feel.
right.
Right. And I knew that I didn't want to keep it up, but also you're right. It becomes oddly kind of addictive because it's also well, that's real quick.
Yeah.
I feel good immediately.
It's that
after.
dopamine. It's that just you feel good because you got a hard workout in. So there's a lot of that. But I think it's when you get so obsessed with the addiction of, oh, this feels good, this must be right. I'm like, well, what's the overall goal here?
Right.
Are you trying to get a good workout or are you trying to perform at your event? Because those are 2 separate things.
Or do you want to live well?
yeah. That's the
Be
goal too.
stronger.
I just want to look good.
It's a goal. Yes, there is that. There's bodybuilders.
bodybuilders.
I'm gonna be a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
You want to look good.
Please do not become a bodybuilder.
I don't have it in me.
That's so grotesque
I
to me.
can't.
But
I
there-
need that much
People
chicken
have way
breast.
too much. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, you have nice muscles, but what are you doing?
I'm
Boiling
saying,
your chicken,
bodybuilders-
and calculating all your macros. No thanks.
I was like, because bodybuilders, when I think in the gym, they move per my French, they move like shit.
Oh, how dare you?
So
They're
immobile.
really good at squatting, and that's it. That's all they do that.
They can do all of the things that I cannot do. They can lift heavy things. They can pick them up and put them down. I don't have those muscles. I mean, I do.
And they can flex
Really
smaller
good
versions.
They're just much
and they can
smaller.
flex really good in the mirror and for photos. But if
They're
I ask them to go running or
uncomfortable.
do anything, they're like, I just can't do that.
Mobility.
You never heard of a hybrid athlete, bro?
There's a whole move they're trying to make a hybrid athlete, and I mean, there's some merit to it, but
I believe in video games, by the way. I'm a mage tank, bro.
That's just because we watched Step by Step last night, and they were like, "Video games are the worst." That's why you're playing in video games right now. But I think that it was I became more weirdly, like you said, addicted to the dopamine, and then not feeling good around it.
Yeah.
I never felt good. My body didn't feel good, and you're right. I was basically always tired.
When you're young, you don't feel as much.
You're
'Cause
just
when
sort
you
of
recover
like,
faster, you recover faster. So it's like, oh, whatever. Next day, I'm fine. Let's do it
it's
again.
like, did I use heavier weights in those? I don't know. Whatever. Like, I didn't really think about it because it was just like, I did the workout, like, check.
Yeah.
Like, that was how it mainly was for me. Because the further away I got from swimming, I didn't know what to do. Because I've been swimming since I was 6. I'm 36.
Whoa.
And at that point, I was 20. Yeah, thank you. So old. Yes. But like at that point, why do you keep saying things today that just like completely derail the trolley in my brain?
I'll hold
I
back.
have absolutely
hold
no
back.
idea where I was going with that.
The further you moved away from swimming,
Oh, right. I literally didn't know what to do to work out. And yes, I could have kept swimming. I understand that. But when you've been swimming since you were an infant, basically, and then all through college, and then you rupture your eardrum and you can't swim your last year, all of my friends are still swimming.
mm-hmm.
I have now just a ton of free time and I'm a child.
Oh, I remember that feeling.
Ooh, I'm watching TV. I don't want to have to drive to the pool, get in the pool. I'm in swimming shape. I'm gonna have to swim for how long? By myself. My God, is that boring? I don't want to do that. I'm still sitting on the couch. What's faster?
What's faster than
Yeah,
what?
what's a faster workout? That's how my brain
okay.
was like, I didn't
get it done.
think, right? Like I just knew I needed to do it because I always did, right? Not what I was doing at this point in time. And I legitimately mean this. This is not a joke. I thought, okay, and I did these things.
I'm waiting.
I
can't
thought
wait.
that because I was so good at swimming. And well, in case we are not aware of this, I cannot run to save my life. I just can't. I mean, I can run. I can physically run, but it's terrible. I hate it. It's awful. And I run poorly. My form is bad. So, knowing all of that, I went, let's go run at the gym. How much do we think Lissa ran?
I'm gonna let Ryan guess first.
When we drove to the gym, this is my cardio portion of my workout. And then I would do this, and I would trot my little butt downstairs in my Sophie shorts that did not cover my non-existent butt, and I would do a lifting circuit. So how long and how far?
Ryan, you go first.
What's the distance we think I covered?
Oh, okay. That's too bad. It's how long or
Let's
how
just
distance?
do distance. And then I'll tell you the speed so that you'll know how long it took me. And then you'll judge me even more.
1.5 miles.
Oh, you're so kind.
I'm gonna go with. I was gonna go with 1 mile, but I actually think that might be a bit much. So I'm gonna go with 0.8.
Harsh. Because when you're on the treadmill, you're aware
Yeah, you
of
see
the
the number.
time and the speed. So I went at a 6 on this treadmill and I did a mile. So I ran, quote unquote, for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, I'm so done. And I watched TV and it took hours to
hate
complete that 10-minute run. But man, was I inefficient at it. So my little college brain was like, this must be really difficult for you.
It was.
So and it was. Don't get me wrong. It was hard.
You burned a lot of
But I never
calories in
tried
10 minutes.
I did.
probably.
I
For
never
10 minutes
tried
of
to get
work.
any better. I never was going to run more. And like, I would do that and be like, solid. I ran today. And then my friends who actually ran, my friend Erin would go running. Like, she loved to run. She's like, oh, I didn't do that much today. Only like 8 or 9 miles.
Yeah, not too much.
And she was like, yeah, I had a recovery day. I'm like, what? What? I was in the gym for 27 minutes. Crushed it.
Because
My lifting circuit was like bicep, like glam bicep lifting, quote unquote. And then sometimes when I was like, oh, I'm in a good mood, I'd play with machines. I'm not doing anything. But I thought I was because I'm like, you never do this stuff. This must be really difficult.
Well, I mean, you were young. You didn't know what you needed to do necessarily. And I think,
So then HIIT workouts made me feel like I did more.
right.
And like it was still real quick. I don't know why I wanted it to be quick. It was just like swimming's really long.
Well, you just get
Get it over with.
resentful toward swimming. I think at a certain point when you are a competitive swimmer, you know, from age 6 through college, and you're swimming, you know, easily 2-hour long practices and plus 1 hour of dry land every single day, doubles, you know,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times a week. and then meets on the weekend.
It's so much time, but you don't
just-
actually think
it's
about
your
it.
life.
Yeah.
And it's what you got accustomed to. And then when you have that opportunity to not do that, it's like a kid in a candy store.
I was.
Like, oh my God, I have so much free time. Oh my God, I can watch Oprah.
Yeah.
I mean, also as
Yes.
if you're in a group too, where they help a lot get to that 2 hours.
yeah,
like
100%.
I feel like I know this I'm alone. I don't think I've ever spent more than an hour and a half alone.
That's
I
amazing
have
to
no
do an
idea
hour
how you do
alone.
that much
Yeah.
alone.
40 minutes for me is like I hit 40 minutes and I'm like, I feel real good that I spent by myself.
We know where mine is going, right? We know where mine is going. I would do 1,000 nonstop because I knew as soon as you fucking stop, you're getting out. So I would do 1,000 and go, good.
Done.
Just 1,000 free.
All right.
It's like,
I did it. Done.
yeah, literally. And then I'd get out and be like, nailed it.
But
If I did a 200 warm up, I would sit on that wall and go, who watched you get in? They gonna watch you get out?
Yeah.
They gonna know that you barely did anything in here?
So I do want to know if you guys, I'm changing the subject, by the way. I want to know if there was anything that you taught this week to somebody that you found, I don't know, worth sharing, I guess? Like, I want to share something that
I feel like I've already shared plenty of things.
you have done a lot of sharing, but not necessarily sharing about what somebody has learned from you this week.
Okay, I can make it very applicable.
Go.
I've already talked about it.
Break down.
Stretching. If I have trouble, so actually, in terms of teaching a younger minded human how to catch, I do think about myself first. I'm like, okay, I couldn't do that. So let's just assume they can't do it. Right? I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole and waste time. So I'm just going to assume we can't do it. So let's go about it this way and trick you into doing something. And so I've been having people swim, and I say, okay, we're going to swim freestyle, but we're going to swim it a little bit like you just had a race and we jumped in the warm down pool. What do you do when you do that? I want to feel good. So I swim, but I over exaggerate some stuff so that I can feel good from what I just did.
Yep.
Right? So I over rotate my hips, I over rotate my shoulders, and I try to stretch my side body a little bit. So I want you to swim freestyle. We're not going to go fast, okay? But I want you to use the resistance of the water to try to stretch into your catch. So we're going to enter the water, rotate with our shoulder, and then I want you to extend a little to stretch your armpit and your side body. Let's do that for a little bit. So we do that. Did you feel that? Yeah, that felt really nice. Everyone says it feels so good. I'm like, okay. So we're going to maintain that feeling. And you're just going to make sure that your palm is a little bit deeper underneath of you to make that feeling a little bit more aggressive. Can you do that? And it automatically curves their palm, the wrist, into a minor catch.
Okay, I can see that.
And then I get to film that, show them that this muscle feeling changes the position of their wrist without them trying. Because if you tell me, curve your wrist in 1/8 of an inch, okay, I'm trying. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be that specific for sure.
But like curve your wrist in. right?
It's smaller
If
than people
you're-
think it is.
Yeah, it's so much smaller than you think it is. And like you can do that swimming in so many ways that are incorrect for you to feel that you've rotated your wrist, that you haven't actually rotated your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I couldn't do any of them. So let's try it this way first. And then it's, do you see this curve of your wrist? Oh yeah, I felt that I was doing that sometimes. And then we lean more aggressively into that and the muscle engagements that you feel from that.
Yeah.
Because I just never wanted to go about quote unquote teaching a catch movement because I couldn't do it. And I didn't know. I thought I did it my entire life and I did not know until I met the man sitting across from me and he goes, let me show you that you have no catch. And I'm like, ha ha ha, loser, you're going to film me and see that I have a great catch. And it was the 100% opposite. And he films me and he goes like, look. I'm looking, waiting to see my catch, and then my arm just drops and does absolutely nothing. And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, I've been swimming for decades and I'm not doing something that I was like positive I was doing. Oh, wow. All right.
It's weird how that works.
Shocking. So I really have been having like so much fun having people, all right, we're gonna stretch. And I say, we're doing nothing. We're just stretching. And I'm going to talk to you about it.
I have two things I've been doing with people.
It's been working really well. Adults too.
We don't have enough time to talk about either one of them because I want to show what it is, because it is, one's with a partner, meaning I'm the partner with my swimmer that I have to demonstrate this skill with. And then the other is using the wall to help set a catch. And
I saw you doing that the other day.
it's very helpful, but I don't want to go over it like this.
I'm so glad you brought it up then.
Yeah, it's called a teaser. So I'm gonna let Ryan talk.
I was gonna say, because I was talking to Liz about this before we started the podcast. It was kind of going off what we were talking about previously. This about like how people want to feel good during their workouts and stuff. I have a client who's in like his probably mid 50s, and he came to me. He said he saw a doctor because he had recent heart palpitations because he's been getting his heart rate when he swims to like 180 or 200. It's like a 40 minutes workout. So
What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know.
Insane.
And like I saw his swim, he didn't seem like super like working super hard, but like he shows us on his watch is at like the 180 something. And I'm like, holy crap! Okay, we need to like get you to chill out. And when I actually had him for the full lesson, I talked a little
Like
bit more.
anxiety wise.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. He was like, he basically like, it sounded like he wasn't even aware that like he was like kind of freaking out whenever he was swimming. So like the first 10-15 minutes of the lesson was
Like panicking on us.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the first 10-15 minutes of the lesson was legit just like, okay, you're going to sit here. We're going to practice like breathing, blowing bubbles, doing bobs, getting used to just like, okay, I do a relaxing thing where I have the person put their chin in the water and just practice inhaling long and exhaling long, and they can feel their body rise and sink in the water.
Love it.
It helps people relax. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, oh yeah, and I'm feeling a little bit better. And I'm like, okay, let's try some a little bit. And already he was like a little bit lower in his heart rate. I'm like, you gotta chill out, dude. That's really like your number one problem right now. Like he's just so used to working hard. He thought, this is a workout. I need to work hard.
I just realized what you have to have him do. He needs to exhale.
Yeah, well, that's actually we figured out a little later too. He needs to exhale a little bit.
I'll figure it out for you. Ha! Just kidding. I'm very jazzed right now. Had a lot of coffee, I think.
No, I was my train of thought. Wait,
Ha!
Get it back. Breathing, chin on the surface, long exhale, long
well,
rise,
because
fall.
we then learned to like I just went then into working on like learning to float well, learning to kick properly. That like just like kicking all over the place like crazy.
Kicking actually feel
controlling
like
it
that
and
you're
like
propelling
Yeah, and I taught him like the concept of it, like, okay, yeah, the kick needs to keep you up. You're not just gonna just like float or flail your legs around. You gotta learn how to actually kick correctly to stay up.
That's my favorite sentence. Swimming is not just floating and moving your limbs.
Yeah.
It's a full body workout.
Yeah. And so that's what I did for the whole this lesson. But it started making me think about how much anxiety affects our feelings of fatigue when we're working out. Because I think that's the other thing too, kind of like in how society is now. Everyone wants a HIIT workout, a very short workout because they're trying to get it in. And like people are rushing to things. Like me this morning, I was rushing to get a workout in before this podcast. But like, yeah, like I was
You
anxious.
didn't cut it short, did you?
I had to a little bit. I'm planning on making it tomorrow.
Still
Sure.
worked
Just so
out.
everyone knows.
You didn't
Yeah.
quit not working out.
But either way, I went through it really fast, and I felt okay during it. It's probably gonna hit me later, like, oh god, okay, I just worked really hard, more than I'm used to. But as I'm saying, like when you have that kind of like anxious state, you don't really realize how like that adrenaline rush is making you work really, really hard. But then like it eventually hits you at some point. They're like, oh god, okay, I actually put all this effort in. I mean, I feel it now after the fact when everything's chilled out or I'm going to bed or something. I'll probably feel something. But yeah, it's just a really interesting thing to think about how like when we relate to swimming and how people are afraid getting into the water the first time and they're just like, okay, just go work out. I'm working really, really hard. And I'm like, okay, is this a healthy thing?
I mean, yes,
Well,
you are working hard,
think-
but it's not like the most beneficial,
Yeah.
right? Like, how can we make this more beneficial?
Yeah.
Think
Good
about
work.
These concepts, it's harder to learn if your heart rate is elevated.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
That's
that's a true statement, by the way.
Well, yeah,
It's
that's-
scientifically proven,
anxiety.
right? So if you're trying to learn how to swim and you're anxious, that shit's really hard.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
At least it's like by his demeanor, like I just like him talking, I couldn't really like tell. But then I thinking about it a little more. I'm like, wait a minute, why is he just like he's just here idling in the water and he already has like a 130 heart rate? Why is he freaking out? We need to chill out.
I mean, it's definitely like there's something happening that's causing him to go into his fight or flight,
Yeah.
right? Like, and he's unaware of it,
Yeah.
which
Or
is
he's
just,
just ignoring it.
or he's ignoring it and being like, "This is I'm working out." Like he's feeling something, but
This is what it means to him to swim.
Yeah.
Is anxiety, basically.
And I think there's a lot of people who are like that.
and you
They-
can't
they just
prevent
work
that
out.
from kicking in.
The fight or flight response. I mean, that's what I was saying.
You can breathe and you
We
take
we
some
work
time
on
to
things.
understand.
Yeah, you have to take
No,
some
if
time.
you're unaware of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're unaware.
If you're unaware that it's
Well,
happening.
then you need an outside party to intervene
Yeah.
to actually bring awareness to, like, okay, yes, you are freaking out.
Right.
What do you mean?
Right. All right, we got to wrap this up. We're going to run out of time soon.
I need food.
So, okay, and Melissa needs to eat. So, what was this podcast about? What are we wrapping up? If you have dreams about being in college or driving on windy roads,
When you wake up, don't worry, you're 36.
you'll be fine. Anything else that this podcast is about?
I think it's just so interesting. to do
Keep
with
track.
business.
You have to understand what the overall goal of the activity that you're doing is. It's not always about, do I feel good or not? You have to find, okay, is this going to help me perform in college, in your triathlon, whatever. I tend to say goal-oriented. You understand where is this all going.
Sure. Anything else?
Stretch while you swim.
Bye.